I mean, she brought me to puberty. I just leave it at that. I loved her so much when I found out she was dating Tony Gonzalez. I dropped him from my fantasy team. Never picked him up.
You got so mad at that?
Ever again. I was really upset about that.
He was on fire.
What is it about Kansas City Chiefs tight ends that get all the good singers?
Damn.
When I'm human, and I'm gonna blow my horn till the cows come home, and everyone's gonna bow down to me. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Michael Leon Woolley, the voice of Louis the Alligator from the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog, and you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way. Magic Our Way. The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you once again in 2025 to feel the libations.
Feel it.
We are artistic Boston, not artistic cream stuffs.
Cream stuffs?
Cream stuffs.
I hope.
You don't stuff our cream puff.
Yeah.
I tried to recover. It wasn't happening.
It was a lot
But,
of
you know,
work
I'm
Fridays.
still recovering from the New Year's. Yeah, whatever. It hurts.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com. For this episode, we present Dick Clark's MOWrockin Eve. No, not this. Dick Clark has nothing to do with us.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. R.I.P. That's right. No, it's just the Magic Our Way MOWrockin Eve, our 2024-25 New Year's show.
Rock on.
And look, this isn't your typical polish practice Pixie Dust and Disney podcast. Never. No way. We are not in Shanghai Disney Resort every day, letting you know that the structure has been completed on what will be their third on-property hotel.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and say, may your troubles last as long as your New Year's resolutions.
That's right. And you listeners have the easy part. All you guys have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm cream stuffed.
And I'm Eli. How follow
Stuffed.
I'm Danny. He's Eli.
He did the
and
stuffing.
She is
I'm Rachel.
Rachel.
I wasn't sure if it was my turn yet.
Cream stuff. I'm
cream
chutney.
I am stuff from the holidays. Oh my goodness. So much food.
So much food.
Oh, the
Gotta love
holidays. Oh,
I'm
my
like
goodness.
looking forward to the January dieting just to like feel better. Oh my goodness.
I
my-
don't know, but
I'm with
yeah.
her on this one, dude. I can't go up a flight of stairs anymore without. Let me stop for a minute.
That's a good
The
time.
holidays have taken a toll on me this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, like I know you don't like this particular thing, but I roll right in the king cake once January 6th rolls around.
You're rough,
Oh,
Kevin.
I hate king cake.
I love
so
king cake. I eat
rough.
the piss out of that sucker.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
do it like, hey, just once, just to try it. and
Just to
everything
have
like
it,
that,
yeah.
just to do the tradition. But I'm not a big king cake fan.
Oh.
I'm
king cake.
I'm not a big dessert guy, and I don't want to pay for no other cake for other people. I'm just cheap.
Yeah.
You know, I want to save it for my vacation.
There you go.
Sure,
You can
sure.
do that. And look, the easiest way to support us is to book a vacation, as Eli said, with Rachel specifically. And a little piece of that comes back to support us and her.
Woo.
Also, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show. And be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, we want to thank our Patreon supporters once again in 2025 for all that they continue to do for us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But before we get into it, we want to wish everyone a happy new year and a hearty welcome to 2025, the year in which Eli and I turn 50. And the Magic Our Way podcast reaches show number 600 at the end of the year. How about that?
Thank God this show is older than us.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That is something.
We're turning 50 in
I'm
2025.
doing the
century.
math on this.
Yeah.
half a century.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
And a year from now, we'll already be at 600 whatever because we just keep trucking like that.
How we do
Crazy.
it is amazing.
I know. We're right up there with some of the big guys.
That's the New Year miracle right there.
So spread the word. We're right up there with a bunch of the big guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're still here since 2012. 2012?
Boom.
2012.
Boom.
See, the hangover just still, I'm adding numbers now.
That's that MOWrockin magic.
I'm projecting. We're recording this in 24, but I know I'm going to have a hangover the next day. But anyway, look, enough of our jibber jabber, y'all. Let's go discuss all things New Year's, especially stuff that happened in Disney's past. Welcome to the Hub, the big topic segment of our show. And it's our first show of 2025, as I mentioned in the intro. And we present our MOWrockin Eve, or MOWrockin Eve.
No, MOWrockin sounds
MOWrockin sounds better. Like that. MOWrockin, yeah, it's like Mo Money, but better.
There you go.
But yeah, so for this year, each of us is going to present an interesting story that we discovered that happened in the Disney parks on New Year's Eve or day, depending on when the thing took place. So there's some very interesting stories that have happened in the past surrounding New Year's Eve in general. So yeah, we're going to present each one of the stories that we've discovered. A lot of these things they're not doing anymore. Well, maybe one thing they're doing again, and maybe there's a couple of things that we'd like to see had them do again.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to go in chronological order as to how these events happened, and I think Danny's has the oldest story, which is rather interesting, I should say. I'm curious to see what you guys think. So Danny, well, I'll turn it over to you, man. What you got?
Well, this is a story I first remember being told by the GOAT, Jim Hill, and Lim Testa. So all credit to them for bringing this to our attention.
Goats.
He is the GOAT. He's my favorite.
Yes.
So anyway, beginning in 1961 and lasting till he retired in 1986, there was this bald 4'6" amateur speed skater from Cleveland named Paul Castle who was playing Mickey Mouse over at Disneyland at the time.
Cleveland. All right. Hey.
Cleveland. He's from Cleveland, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, just a little backstory on Paul. At about age 17, Paul left Cleveland for New York, and in 1940, he landed a job portraying a teddy bear in an ice skating show. By the 1950s, though, Paul had become a headline performer with the Ice Capades and was billed as the Mighty Mite of the Ice. And the 1958 Ice Capades program lists the following description for Paul. Paul Castle, the Mighty Mite. Short but mighty, small but speedy. This, in a very few words, describes the little man of the big show. Just a little over 4 feet in height, he is perfectly proportioned, and his smooth, solid muscles stamp him as a miniature Hercules. He made a name for himself as the champion of the Silver Skates Derby, and he actually jumps 1 foot higher than he is tall.
Oh, wow.
So they really, it was a different time, but
yes.
I want to make sure y'all understand that's all a quote. This is not my words. Their words. So Paul quit skating in 1960 and he came out west hoping to land a job at Disneyland. Not as Mickey, though. As Paul put it, he wanted to be, quote unquote, a little clown. Again, his words, not mine. A little clown at Disneyland. Because at that point in time, they did kind of circus-themed shows over there. However, it wasn't meant to be. Paul ended up in television doing stand-in work for smaller sitcom stars like Jay North, who played Dennis the Menace on the Dennis the Menace show. I don't know if y'all, that's probably before all of our times, but I do remember catching reruns on Nickelodeon.
Okay, yeah, the black and white version. Right?
Exactly, yes, that guy. So in 1961, Disney planned to use a 13-foot, 7-inch diameter drum for its Fantasy on Parade, or again, and I really have to stress enough that I'm putting it as much because Paul was interviewed with the LA Times, and a lot of these descriptions come from Paul himself. They needed a small person to ride on the big drum to make the drum look bigger, and that's how I was hired to do Mickey Mouse. So the idea was if you put a small performer on top of this huge drum, the drum looks even bigger by proportion, and they wanted a little guy, and they found Paul, and that's how Paul got to be hired as Mickey Mouse.
Nice.
So in his early years, Paul worked all the holiday and special occasions, and as the years passed on, Disney hired other Mickeys so Paul could have his weekends off.
Oh, that's nice.
But he was the main Mickey in Disneyland for those many, many, many years. However, one holiday Paul did have to work was New Year's Eve. Now, as Paul recalled, the year was either 1965 or 1966, which doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but it's a huge difference because Walt would have been around in 1965, but if it was 1966, Walt had just passed like less than 3 weeks earlier on December 15th, 1966.
Oh, wow.
So he wouldn't have even been around for it. So it is a very big difference as in terms of whether or not he was there. But Paul could not recall the exact year. He just said it was either 65 or 66. Whatever the year, someone had the idea that if Tinkerbell can fly off the Matterhorn and around the castle, what if on New Year's Eve, instead of Tinkerbell, we dress up a cast member as Baby New Year?
Oh my gosh.
Baby New Year.
And at the stroke of midnight, he can go sliding down the zip line instead of Tinkerbell. Now, I don't know if y'all remember the Rudolph. What is this? The Rankin and
Bass.
There you go. Rankin and Bass. They had a baby New Year. They had a whole New Year's episode with the baby New Year with the top hat. And well, that's the idea.
Okay. That's a better picture.
That's the idea.
Very
Yes.
good.
So you'd need a fairly petite cast member to pull off the illusion that it is indeed a baby.
Yes.
So they offered Paul some extra money and he said, okay, I'll do it.
All right.
So 5 minutes before the clock strikes midnight, Paul emerges out of the hatch at the top of the Matterhorn wearing a skin-colored leotard, a top hat, and a diaper. Now, he was accompanied by union representatives, shall we say.
Jeez.
There's another word for those. I don't know if you know the other word. Anybody seen Hoffa?
Teamsters.
Teamsters. Yes, he was accompanied by some Teamsters.
Oh, wow.
Because this is a union job and they had to make sure that the harness was attached correctly.
It's safety, yeah.
We want
Check the
fair
safety.
wages.
Exactly.
Make sure he was safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Safe working condition.
Now, down below at the time, there's a castle show which was bidding farewell to the prior year, in which Father Time, who the character was dressed in a gray beard and a robe and an hourglass. He's holding a scythe. And as Lynn Testa put it, he basically looked like the Grim Reaper, but he was just dressed all in white.
Okay.
So he says a few words to the crowd about the prior year, and then the lights go out. And when the lights are out, they replace a cast member playing Father Time with a similarly dressed dummy. And then when the light goes on, similar to the movie Up, a bunch of balloons emerge from Father Time's back to carry him away, only the balloons kind of get tangled around his neck, and so it made it look like Father Time was being hung to death.
Oh no.
And carried away.
So not like Up at all.
Not like Up at all.
Time waits for no man, just a few balloons.
Right.
Got you.
Now, meanwhile, atop the Matterhorn, everyone's waiting for Father Time to pass by because they were worried that the balloons might get caught on the wire.
Oh.
And if Baby New Year came down, he's going to get tangled up in the balloons, and they just have a real problem on their hands at that point in time. So they're waiting. So they have a minute to pause. And as they're waiting for the balloons to pass, Paul looks down and quickly decides, oh, hell no. I ain't doing this. And he's looking to leave. So the Teamsters radio down to Disney management and tell them, look, he doesn't want to go through with this, so we're just going to come back down. So they await word back from the higher ups, and word comes back. If he won't do it, strap him into the harness and throw him off the Matterhorn.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That's pretty brave. Dang.
That was their solution to this rather intense problem.
I rather the balloons.
I would agree. So I'm betting you Paul was begging for a balloon at that point. So they grab Paul, and he's struggling to get away. He's screaming, quote unquote, let me go, let me go. And one of the Teamsters stood in the trap door, the little hatch of the Matterhorn, to prevent Paul from escaping.
Oh, wow.
And the other ones managed to get him into the harness and put him into position, which was hanging off the side of the 150-foot tall Matterhorn with two wires attached to his back.
That's so wrong.
And when the time came, they pushed him off the top of the Matterhorn. And according to legend, as well as Lynn Testa, who's seen the footage and attests to all this, Paul came down that zip line, and as he soared above the crowd, the whole way down, Baby New Year was screaming and yelling obscenities at the top of his lungs
I bet.
while flailing around in midair, attempting to grasp at anything he could to stop himself.
Oh.
Which, of course, just made him spin around even more in circles, terrifying the poor man even more.
Oh my gosh.
But the crowd must have loved it.
Except until they were like, cover your ears, little Timmy. Baby New Year is cussing up a storm. That
Wow.
made Stewie Griffin look tame in comparison. Anyway, it only took about 20 years, but Paul looked back on it and he laughs about it now. Well, Paul passed in the late 80s, but he said, I'll never forget that. That was really something. That was really the most scary thing I ever did at Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That he could laugh back on it because he survived it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He definitely survived it. That was a good thing. But I don't think we'll ever see this footage. This is like, what's that Jerry Lewis movie, The Day the Clown Cried, The Day the Laughter Died,
Yeah,
whatever it was,
Okay.
where it's like rumored. It's like, this was heavily rumored, but apparently the footage does exist. And Lynn Testa saw it. And he's like, the description doesn't even do it justice. It was way, way, way worse.
Little man off the Matterhorn.
F y'all for New Year. Somebody get me off this thing. Wash my diaper.
Now, another thing that I found interesting, because the more I read the interview with Paul, one thing I did find worth noting about this interview is it doesn't really have anything to do with New Year. It's just a little side anecdote. Apparently, we have him to blame for the fact that characters aren't allowed to talk.
Oh.
Because
Because he was cussing up a storm?
Wow.
Hey, you little mother. Okay. No, prior to the mid-1970s, apparently the characters were free to speak to Disney guests.
Wow.
As Paul said, quote unquote, I talked for 10 or 15 years to the people, to the little kids, you know. The little kids didn't like it if you didn't talk to them. But somewhere during the course of those years, Disneyland administrators, decided I didn't sound anything like Mickey, so I shouldn't talk. And if I couldn't talk, then nobody else in the other costumes were allowed to talk. So consequently, nobody talks now. None of the characters can talk.
I'm picturing Max from like Muppet Vision. Hey, kid.
But he did concede that when he spoke in costume, he sounded nothing like Mickey. He said he tried to get to that falsetto, but he just couldn't quite do it as much as he tried. So that was another little interesting anecdote. So Paul Castle, Disney legend. Wow.
Indeed, Disney legend. Disney lore.
It kind of reminds me of like the little baby from what's that?
Roger Rabbit? Yeah.
Oh,
Big
yes.
Cigar or something.
Baby Herman.
Baby Herman.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes.
That's awesome.
Can you imagine that? He was like, "Hey, all right, they understand me. I'm not comfortable with the balloons." Like, yeah. So we're just gonna put you on this thing and just push. Good luck. Whoa, F everybody. Yeah. That's crazy.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Oh man.
So I think my story is next in the timeline. So of course I'm talking about Pleasure Island and the fireworks. And if you've been listening to our show, you know that we have a Facebook group for all Mohicans to convene and interact, which we lovingly call Magic Our Way's Pleasure Island.
Yes.
And some may think this is a Pinocchio reference, and then there are some of you that know exactly what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was known as Disney Springs and before it was known as Downtown Disney, that area was known as Pleasure Island, which was named after the famous adventurer and entrepreneur Meriwether Adam Pleasure. Pleasure Island, fun for all and all for fun. This was a place where, in my opinion, adults could be adults, at least for a little while, and remain within the Disney bubble. It was a sprawling metroplex of nightclubs, bars, restaurants, all rife with adventure and comedy, and a New Year's celebration. So that's where my story ties into.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you heard that right. A New Year's Eve celebration known as the New Year's Eve Street Party was held on Pleasure Island from 1990 to 2005. And to quote the 1992 Birnbaum Guide, and I quote, "Every night is New Year's Eve at Pleasure Island, a spectacular fireworks show complete with confetti and special effects, lighting, and a talented troupe of dancers all add to the party atmosphere." End quote. Disney held a New Year's Eve party complete with a New Year's Eve countdown every night of the year while Pleasure Island was in operation. It was crazy, and we were there. Y'all seen that? Y'all been to that, right?
We have been.
We were there. Rachel, I don't know. Did you get a chance to experience
No.
that? No? Okay.
That would have been cool though.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I hung out at the 70s Club a lot because I enjoyed the music.
What, 8 tracks?
Yeah,
8
8 tracks.
tracks.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
I think every Thursday was like cast member night, and it was also like 80s night. So that was a lot of fun too. So on my vacations, I would do that, and then of course take part in the New Year's celebration. But as a side note, did you know that this whole thing about celebrating New Year's Eve every night was almost instead a Christmas celebration with aliens?
No.
Yes, I did. Okay.
No.
Yes, Jim Corcus. Yes, I
Yes.
do remember reading that.
Yep, that's right. Disney opened Pleasure Island to add nightlife to the whole Walt Disney World vacation experience, to keep guests on property and not to have them take off for Church Street Station, which was a nightlife district down in Orlando.
Right.
At the time, that is where tourists would go for some nightlife action because there wasn't really anything on Disney property for sure, or anything close to it. Anyway, because they had their own entertainment district to govern now, they needed a reason for guests to come back night after night to unwind from their time in the parks. One of the first ideas, which came from the lore of Meriwether Adam Pleasure's attempts to contact life in outer space. So that's what the first idea is. That's how this came to be about the aliens.
Yeah, there was like a plaque to that effect that he like designated an area like as an intergalactic landing pad for aliens. because they were actively attempting to locate life outside of the universe. Is that about what the backstory
Yeah,
was?
that is. Yeah, they had a
Okay.
plaque right there on the West End, which is
Yeah.
kind of where the stage is, where they do the main New Year's Eve celebration. So the original idea was that the spaceship would land on a landing platform that Mr. Pleasure had constructed on the West End Plaza of Pleasure Island, which would lead somehow to a celebration of Christmas.
Yes.
No idea how that would lead to a celebration of Christmas. I have no idea why that was the thing or how they made that connection.
Maybe if we would have tried that in Independence Day, Will Smith wouldn't have had to punch aliens. In the
I
face.
know.
I know.
Yeah.
They would have known. They would have never landed.
Welcome to Disney.
So, of course, Disney tapped into another piece of Meriwether Adam Pleasure's lore and decided to hold a New Year's Eve celebration every night instead. New Year's Eve being a time traditionally known for partying, drinking, and fireworks. I mean, who doesn't like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Freaking awesome.
My daughter.
Oh, well.
She hates fireworks.
Well,
Well, you know, and Eli, maybe, if he doesn't get hit.
Oh, he got shot.
Oh yeah, I've been on fire before. It's not a
Fire,
fun
skin
feeling.
burn, it's
Yeah,
not so great.
It's not so great.
He
But-
handled it like a champ.
Yeah.
That's why I am a champ.
Happy New Year's. Don't
I
let
had
that
my
happen this
Deadpool
year.
shirt. Yeah, maximum
that happen
effort.
this year.
No, I run now.
Yeah, there you go.
More like maximum blubber.
That saved me. Probably saved my liver.
Yeah. So anyway, as the story goes, Mr. Pleasure was born on New Year's Eve in 1873. Mr. Pleasure said that his birth on New Year's Eve was intentional so that everyone could celebrate with him. Of course, that's why he was born. Then a few years down the road, his oldest son, Stuart, was born on New Year's Eve in 1901. Then his second son, Harold, was born on New Year's Eve 1905. But then his daughter, Miriam, was not born on a New Year's Eve. She was born on February 17th, 1912. Oh no! The tradition of landmark family events occurring on New Year's Eve was broken, according to Mr. Pleasure. So, he determined the only way to fix this was to correct time itself. He became king and he wanted to correct time himself.
I like that.
And since Pleasure Island was his island, he could make it be any day of the week that he wanted. And since Miriam's birth was so far out of the family tradition, Mr. Pleasure claimed that every day should be New Year's Eve. Henceforth,
every day.
every day. So while the island's inhabitants toiled and labored during the day, they would have the chance to unwind with a New Year's party celebration after work. The industrial buildings that were there in Pleasure Island at the time of Mr. Pleasure were converted into nightclubs, party halls, dance clubs, comedy clubs, which is what you saw when Disney opened their thing. And then wherever they were, the workers were, they would just celebrate on the island the countdown to midnight and celebrate a new year each and every time. You know, that must have been a lot of PTO taken after that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know, it's like, boss, this party, I love it, but damn, I need to take some time off.
You know, time. It's a party every day here at work.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are late.
Can
I
we
don't
have
know.
a weekend off from drinking or something?
PTO from a New Year's Eve celebration, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe he had a late start.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe
Wow.
maybe he didn't. The employees didn't have to come in at 10 o'clock. I don't know. But anyway, that's what kind of happened on Pleasure Island, where the shops and the restaurants were open during the day, so families could go in there. And then after a certain time, it was only 18 or up were allowed to get onto the island, even with some clubs being only 21 plus restriction as well.
Yeah.
So there's some clubs where some 18 up could go, and there's only some where it was only 21. I remember, like, what was that? That techno club was one of them.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it.
They had that little space in between where they carted you.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
were going
yes.
into Pleasure Island. Yes,
Mhm.
I remember
That
that.
sounds fun.
Yeah. Oh man,
No,
it was
it
bad.
was
Y'all
not.
would have loved it. Oh man, you would
The
have partied
events were
up.
fun. The carting was not.
Well, yeah, that part, not so
Yeah,
much.
that was rough, but it was a hoot, man.
Especially people at Disney who left their wallet back in their room because you know, who's carrying cash in Disney? No.
Well, anyway, each of the clubs did a countdown on Pleasure Island. So just like the same thing, wherever you were, you could celebrate New Year's. But guests could also spill into the streets where the main New Year's event was taking place, over on the West End stage, which is now the area where Maria and Enzo's Ristorante and Pizza Point is now. On the landing on Disney Springs. On the West End stage, Frankie and the West End Boys was the band that would play and entertain the masses with several sets throughout the night before the main countdown event, which usually started about 15 minutes before midnight and involved numerous dancers and a very energetic and vibrant MC. So let me play a little bit of snippet so you know the vibe that we're talking about here from
All
back in the 90s.
Okay.
Joan Jett's rocking New Year.
That was it.
All right.
Yeah, so they did that. They had that vibe going. They played all kinds of music, anything from rock and roll to techno. The dancers led the countdown, and then once the countdown reached midnight, the confetti and the fireworks and stuff went off. And then you would have some version of Auld Lang Syne. I saw a couple of videos where it was a rock version. Then you had a techno version of. Anyway,
Odyssey.
the party would continue a little bit after that. And at one point, and I remember seeing this in commercials, they would lead a huge conga line throughout the streets of Pleasure Island. It was pretty nuts.
Oh, is this back when Buster Poindexter was
Yeah,
big in
all
Disney?
that. Yeah. All that because they played Hot Hot Hot. They did all kind of stuff.
I remember Hot 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 a lot in Disney. Yes.
Yeah. So that was Pleasure Island, New Year's Eve every freaking night for the years that it was in operation. If you had bought stock in fireworks before they opened that, you would have done pretty well for those years. Because it was nuts.
If memory serves, they used to like structure the shows like at Adventurers Club and the
Comedy Club. Yeah.
in order to where you could go out and enjoy this.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's that it was a big deal. It was a big deal that every night was New Year's.
It was huge, man. It was such a fun party. That was like a heyday when we're in college and stuff. And it was like, once I turned 21, I was like, yeah, Pleasure Island. Woo, But yeah, just the fact that they did New Year's every night. I remember on those vacations, they did the countdown. It was just like, wow, they're really doing this.
Oh man, the days
Really
when
doing
Disney
this.
Springs wasn't a strip mall.
No. You could have fun and just do it for
that's
days.
fair.
It really, it was something special to behold. It really was ambitious. It's a shame it didn't. None of it survived. None of it.
Yeah. And you can check out our full retrospective on Pleasure Island on shows number 255 and 256. This was a long time ago.
Mhm.
But Danny and I did a full thing on Pleasure Island, what took place, the backstory, why it closed, all kind of stuff. So check that out. But it was really a special time, a different time and place. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember thinking that sounded like a really cool place. And I've heard other people talk about it too, not just you guys.
One of my favorites was the Laugh Club.
I love the Laugh Club.
They were allowed to, like, it's so funny because like you would go to Universal Studios and Universal Studios would like poke fun at different things. So Disney never did that. But when you went to downtown Disney, they would do that. Not only at the Adventurers Club, which could get a little risque.
Yeah, spicy as the
little
kids call it
spicy,
today. Yeah.
But they had a thing at the Comedy Club where they did like a family's visit to Disney without the magic, like how it could actually be.
Yeah.
And my favorite song from all that was they did a version of Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious about the cast members. And forgive me if I get this wrong, but it was something like super friendly, conscientious Disney World employees.
Well, yes, no, I remember that.
And it was brilliant.
No, that was great.
Like we're like Tinker Toys, and we want to it's all day being nice, and it was such good satire, such good spoofing of the experience. Like any Disney fan, just you saw that show, it's like wow. This is like they're aware. They know everything that we say. So it was a really great show. And you can still find it on YouTube where they spoof a family's visit to Disney World and all the troubles and problems that you don't see in the commercials.
No.
But they covered them there.
Yeah, it was a very special place. I mean, Rachel, you had like a BET dance club so you can get down with some R&B. You got a country club. You got techno. You got the 70s
roller disco.
Yeah, that roller disco.
Oh my
They
God.
experimented. Like they wanted to keep you there.
And they had stores, so if you wanted to buy something, and restaurants and foods, you could eat there too. But yeah, it was a special place. But yeah, New Year's Eve every night on Pleasure Island.
Yeah, miss it.
Miss it terribly.
Very much. Same here too.
But the good news is we don't have to miss it as often as we would like to because sometimes they bring it back.
I hope they bring it back soon, but I think we're about to hear about one time where the Adventurers Club people had a reunion at some kind of New Year's celebration. Is that right, E?
That is correct.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah, like good time ago, a few years back on New Year's Eve. It was a very special time at the Yacht Beach Club.
What year was this exactly?
Oh, around 2016.
So it was during our existence of the podcast. Which
Okay.
is, which I wish we would have gone, but no. We'll see.
I mean, that was, that's fancy pants stuff. Right?
Well, we were in our early phases. No one was donating
we had young
money.
kids.
Yeah,
Doing
like,
anything
buddy,
like-
what was that?
Yeah.
That's like a dream.
I could buy fancy pants.
My wife was pregnant.
Yeah, I already had 2 kids by that point.
yeah.
I think my daughter was in high school. That was some of the highest tuition I'd ever seen. So yeah, most of my vacation money went to Curtis.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, wait, 2016? I had 3 kids already. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, 2016. Oh,
Yeah,
my bad. I heard it
2016.
wrong. Yeah, no, I had a...
You had a kid.
I
We had
a 5-year-old.
responsibilities.
Yes.
We had
Yeah, a lot.
responsibilities. That's right.
So around this time, Thursday, December 31st, 2016, the Yacht Beach Club decided to house a very special event. Now, for what I've read here, the rooms were pretty much split into three clubs, if you will. The first one was basically a big ballroom style that was called Club Live. During this night, it's a huge dance area where you can drink and eat to your heart's content, which always rings a nice string to my heart.
I'm sold.
Drink was free.
Yeah, well,
With price of admission.
Yeah,
obviously.
right,
Yeah.
right. You paid to get in, but
Right.
yes. So some of the dishes that they had on this lovely night included cured sustainable salmon with chive cream cheese and Tobacco caviar. If that ain't Yacht Beach Club, I don't know what it is. Also, cheeseburger spring rolls with tomato curry sauce.
There you go, Rachel.
I love those.
Pork pot sticker with Asian ginger dipping sauce,
love those
vegetable
Yep.
samosa
Samosa,
with mango chutney.
Mimosas.
I want all that.
I've heard Rachel
Yeah,
talk
that all
about
sounds
all
great.
these dishes.
All those things are awesome.
Yeah, they're very good.
Sold.
Oh boy.
All you can eat.
All you can eat all day, all day. You can have mac and cheese and lobster mac and cheese with assorted toppings such as smoked bacon,
Ooh.
fried onions, toasted panko, peas, poached lobster, roasted corn, and of course, the herb roasted New York strip steak with blue cheese and caramelized onions, or pork tenderloin slider with kimchi on the sweet Hawaiian roll and back salad on the sesame seed bun. No, the sesame seed bun I just made up.
You might as well, yeah. Special
But you may
sauce
as
with
well. It
cheese,
was
yeah.
just, it flowed so well. No, and then a Mediterranean falafel with flatbread.
What
and
an
tahini.
adventurous menu.
Yeah, I know.
Man, that is
Wow.
really
Oh, boy.
bold.
Yeah, I guess they figure if you're going to start the new year, then, you're going to have to do it right.
Dude, that's how much is this thing? Do you remember how much is this thing? I don't
Like
I'm
300,
sorry, I mean,
right? It was 300.
Yeah, the cost to participate in this event was about $300.
Dude, that's totally worth it.
Yeah.
3
I
rooms,
would-
$100 a room, all you can eat, all you can drink, right? It was at open bar? I don't remember if it was open bar.
Yes.
I love an open bar.
See, I love that. It's just like a wedding. Yeah, it's just like a wedding reception, man. Just
Total open
I love
bar.
it. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
Sounded like you had better food though than a wedding. Well, I don't know. I guess a nice wedding, but your typical crappy wedding wouldn't have it.
No.
Oh, man. So pretty much this area is split into 3 venues, if you will. So the first one, they called it Club Live, which is, again, that's our huge area. Now, the special guest that was performing here, which is near and dear to my heart, is the lovely Vanessa Williams, who, is
Oh, I remember Vanessa
Oh,
Williams.
yeah.
yeah, award-winning singer, like
Miss America,
Miss
who got
America.
defrocked because she would not. Well,
It
because
was
she
Playboy.
posted.
Yeah, it was
she
Playboy.
posed for Playboy.
Posed in Playboy.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was very tasteful. I had no shame.
Oh,
Very tasteful.
Very tasteful.
Well, I remember her in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, man. And I was
Oh.
like, who is this creature here?
I had like a handful of like CD covers and everything. Like I was a huge fan of her music back in the day.
So you had the Playboy too? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, she brought me to puberty. I just leave it at that. I loved her so much when I found out she was dating Tony Gonzalez. I dropped him from my fantasy team. Never picked him up
You got so mad at that
ever again. I was really upset about that.
He was on fire.
what is it about Kansas City Chiefs tight ends that get all the good singers?
I don't know.
Damn.
It's because they have tight ends.
Maybe so. Maybe they high pitched too. I don't know, but I was mad. Like he shattered my illusion. I could never look at that the same.
You could bounce a quarter off of that thing.
If he showed up to me in the ride, I swear I would pick a kicker before I picked him. That's how serious I was.
Now
about
you
it.
love Vanessa Williams.
That's how much I love Vanessa Williams. So, but while she was there, she sang all of her various hit songs. So, she had a ton, and of course, she sang her song from Pocahontas, was Colors.
Colors of the Wind.
Colors of the
Yeah.
Wind.
Yeah, nice.
Very lovely song, very lovely voice right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had that to enjoy. And then if you chose to go into the second room, it was called Club Vinyl.
Wiki.
What?
You scratching?
It should have had that, right?
Uh,
But basically, it was a 7-piece band. So, I mean,
all right,
you're the
all
musician,
right, good for them.
right? And so they basically did cover songs. Like they would cover a song, but then they would add a jazz flavor to it.
Oh, so like a big band kind of
Nice.
thing. Sweet.
Yeah, like a big bopper. That's what you would call it.
Yeah. Or like ska. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Sky. I remember that.
Ska,
Like the
big
Body
band, all
Body
kinds of
Boss
stuff,
Tones.
swing.
That kind of.
Yeah. John Setzer, all that kind of stuff.
There you go.
Maybe
Okay.
even a little bit Glenn Miller mixed in. I like it.
Yeah, so I mean, you had a good time between these two rooms. I mean, me personally, I just would have stayed in the first room and just had
With Vanessa?
I'd be like, Vanessa, I love you.
Marry me, Vanessa.
And Vanessa would be like, security.
Anyway, so the next room, the final room, the third room is the Cape Cod room, and that housed a different club of its own, and that is the Adventurers Club. So like Kevin explained with Pleasure Island, the Adventurers Club is basically a group of cast members that were featured there, and then after Pleasure Island shut down, these guys dissipated. But they had such a good underground following. And I mean, Danny and I went and saw a few of their performances. It's really good time.
Brilliant.
Kungaloosh, that's where that comes from.
Kungaloosh,
Yes,
that's right.
absolutely.
Exactly. They decided kind of like I guess like a reunion show, if you will, for one night only. These guys all came back. These guys and girls all came back and decided to do another live performance. So
Nice.
if you are not aware of who they are, basically picture, would you say, like a vaudevillian kind of style where like these cast members, they dress up in various costumes.
They were all adventurers of some way, shape, or form. Like
Yes.
Emo was like the Boy Scout, and Otis T. Wren was more the sophisticated adventurer. I think he was a club accountant, and there was
Fletcher Hodges.
Fletcher
Yeah.
Hodge. Yeah,
Yeah.
There was a bunch of characters, but they were all adventurers. They would go around the world having these adventures
And
they
telling you about
come
it.
back and
Yep.
sing.
This was like the place where they gathered, like a clubhouse, and they just swap stories of their adventures.
Right.
Right.
And if you were lucky, if you came there early enough before the show, you grabbed a drink and they would just mingle amongst the crowd and strike up a conversation with
Yeah.
you. They were a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun.
And to Danny's point, yeah, you had various characters like, Pamela Perkins,
Yes.
Samantha Sterling,
Yes.
Emil Bleehall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Babylonia. I mean, my personal favorite is like Beezy, because I said that sounds like a rapper that would go up against Drake in a
Beezy.
battle. Like, yo, Beezy, for Sheezy. It's very catchy.
Well, and then there was Fingers. Fingers was the piano that was instilled. Like the guy who was playing the piano, I guess, died, and somehow his spirit became infused with piano. So the piano would play itself.
Oh, nice.
And they would call him Fingers. And so just like Fingers, play, whatever
Play
it
whatever
is.
it is.
And Fingers would just start playing. And so, yeah.
But they didn't have fingers in this video because somebody was playing the piano.
So that was
Yeah.
Fingers. That was
That was
with the
Fingers?
piano.
Oh,
but I
okay.
never
It's out
saw
there.
a piano, but yeah, I'm sure that, look, no matter what, it was Fingers.
It was the
was Fingers.
the spirit of fingers lives on.
Fingers in our
That's
hearts.
awesome. I love that.
Yes, and that's one of the things like I remembered really well. I mean, there's so many different Disney memories, but one of the things I always remembered was when Danny first introduced me to this. I was just watching it, and I remember one of the characters brought me up. They're like, "You look like a big person," and like they had me like flex muscles while singing the song, and I was like, "This is crazy," but but it was fun. It's like one of those things where like they can bring you into the crowd, but you're already having fun, and it's not like an isolated incident. Like you do feel like you're part of the act.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you
it's very
weren't-
natural.
Oh, they caught you.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's
If you were
funny.
supposed to be singing along and you weren't, they found you.
They got you, and that was another thing. These characters were very sharp.
Mhm.
They would get out there and they would roast you in front of everybody. They didn't care if you was sitting at a whole table full of people that was like me mugging them. You were getting it if
Right.
you weren't participating, and that was a good spirit.
All these characters, like I bet you when the show's over, we'll talk. But I bet you, like, I could tell you where you've seen them before. And you'd be like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Or I know that girl. And they were using various different parts in and around the part as straight atmosphere or even video characters. Like one of them still to this day is the guy on the Haunted Mansion front lawn with...
That's that old dude, the tall guy, right? That he was
Yeah, the
singing
tall
with the
guy.
lady.
He played Otis T. Wren in the clip that you saw. He was a butler when I saw him. But he also plays the butler at Not So Scary. And he's with the ghost, the lady ghost. The ghost is the most is the draw, I guess. And I can't remember her name; it's escaping me. But she had a butler, and that guy was the Adventurers Club guy,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
and he was also the second Guano Joe.
oh, right. Yeah.
He was the
yes.
Guano Joe that you would get when the other Guano Joe was.
Couldn't make
Called
it.
in
Yeah,
sync. Yeah, exactly.
Backup guano.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, now again, so that says a lot about these guys, their talent, and what they brought to Disney, what they brought to the audience.
Versatility. Yes.
Well, the
Yes.
thing is, I remember you sent this article, Eli, and it was like, oh, they talk about something where it's like they had in the main room, they were doing the countdown, but people didn't want to leave that room with the Adventures Club, so they brought the countdown to them.
the
So the
Adventures
Adventures Club people did the countdown. Like I saw a video of it in that article, and they were doing it for the people that didn't want to leave. They didn't want to go in the Vanessa Williams room. They wanted to stay with the Adventures Club people because it was just so special.
Yeah, just for tonight, you had to go into the Adventures Club. See, that was a Vanessa Williams song I just
Although
did.
it was poorly thought out that you could not get a Kungaloosh.
Yeah,
That was a signature
that
drink.
was a hit and a miss.
To
That
not
was-
allow you to get a Kungaloosh. But the performer even
Yeah, they
said it.
played
Don't
it
even
off.
ask.
Yeah.
You're
Don't
not
ask.
getting one.
They played it off right off the bat. It was
Mhm.
nice. So if Disney brings it back, $1,000.
That was Joe Rohde, by the way. I don't know if Rachel knows that, but that was Joe Rohde.
The Adventures Club,
What
yeah.
was Joe Rohde?
The
Adventure
Adventures-
Club
The
was
whole
his thing?
Adventures Club. Yeah, that was
Yes,
his.
that was him.
Oh man, now I want to go even more.
A lot of the artifacts you saw on the wall was his personal memorabilia that he donated, and they added to the Adventures Club. And so I guess when they closed it down, he got it all back.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
from what I
good.
hear, every inch of that place on Pleasure Island was like detailed theme, just like you saw the stuff in Animal Kingdom.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Exact level of detailing.
Detail.
Oh,
yeah.
Rohde was brilliant.
Right now, my 40th birthday plan is to go to Aulani, and I can't wait because it's has his stamp all over it. So
Wait, when do you turn 40?
next year,
Oh,
Not-
2025?
not next year, 2026.
Oh,
I was
2026.
gonna
Oh, next
say.
year. Oh, that's right, because we're recording this.
All right.
This is the 2025 show. Sorry.
That's
We're
it.
still in
Yeah.
2044, guys. A little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
All right,
So
all right.
2026.
All right.
my plan
Okay.
is to get to Aulani.
Well, that's
nice.
the goal.
That is good.
That's the goal. But yes, in this date and time, that level of
2016,
magic
yeah.
was explored.
They need to bring that back. That'd be awesome.
Oh man,
I'll be there.
Why do you think every single Imagineering episode we figure out some way to bring the Adventures Club back?
Mhm.
Because
yeah,
what a miss!
What a unique
Of an
a very
experience.
unique
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's one of those hidden gems,
Yes.
if you will.
Every club closed except for that one because that was like all the original Pleasure Island clubs, A-Track,
The
friggin'
Techno Club.
oh,
yeah.
Disco, all that,
Yeah.
all of it, the comedy, it all closed. But the Adventures Club was the last thing, and I bet you they would have kept it going if not for the fact that it was like they needed a space or something else.
yeah,
Right,
figure out
right,
a
yeah.
venue for
And
it.
Disney just didn't want to. If not for the fact that Disney didn't want to continue to operate clubs and everything like that, they wanted to hand it over to third parties.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah,
they
so
still
they didn't have
could
to
do
worry
it.
about it. But it was great.
Yeah, Adventures and Vanessa Williams in the same night. You were lucky
And
if you
open
attended
bar
that.
and unlimited food.
And yeah,
One of the best things was our hurricane. We went to Florida. There was a hurricane coming, and Anna and me and Eli and my mom hightailed it over to Disney because we were staying in Florida at that point. Because the hurricane was either going to hit us or Texas, one of the two. And it hit us, but fortunately we were in Florida, and so we took a little 4-hour drive,
little dip.
We went over to Disney World, stayed at the Holiday Inn, and we went and saw the Adventures Club one last time. Before,
That's awesome.
And that we knew they were closing at that point, so
That's
we
right.
made sure to get over
Good
there.
for you, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Cool. And so we bring it closer to the present with Rachel. She's got some
Yes.
news. California Grill or something like that. Whatever. What do we got
I
going?
do. I have a little bit of New Year's Eve, past, present, future, maybe.
Yeah.
So this year, one way you can celebrate New Year's Eve at Walt Disney World is by going to the California Grill. I think we mentioned this on a different show, just like real quick in passing, but I got some more detail on it. So this year, 2024 into 2025, the California Grill Party is Tiana's New Year's Adventure. So it's themed to a Tiana adventure, which makes sense with Tiana's Bayou Adventure this year. And I learned today that they have had a different theme pretty much every year on this California Grill Party. So every year for New Year's Eve, they have a party at the California Grill, and it's themed in a different way each time.
Oh.
Again, this year is Tiana's New Year's Adventure. So here's their little write-up. They wrote, immerse yourself in the whimsical surroundings of the California Grill, where you'll see Princess Tiana and Prince Naveen. They've stopped by to sample the cuisine, meet some new friends, and assist Tiana's friend, Chef Matthew. That's the chef at California Grill.
Mhm.
But wait, there's a twist. With the
Yeah.
help of Mama Odie's magic, Lewis and a few of Tiana's other critter pals, the critters, have
Critters
crashed the party.
with their foods.
Throughout the yes, throughout the night, Mama Odie will cast playful spells to help Lewis and friends stay out of sight of Tiana and Naveen. However, Tiana is smart and she will get to the bottom of who crashed this party, but she'll need your help to do it. So be prepared to join in the action. We hope you come dressed in your best and are ready to dance to beats from live musicians. Plus, we'll cap the evening and start 2025 with a champagne toast at midnight.
Hey,
Oh,
live musicians.
how
Love
about
it.
that?
Good for them.
Where would the live musicians play?
In the hallway.
There's
bar?
that like back room, maybe. Oh well, no, there's like space for live musicians, kind of in that like waiting area. They used to have a pianist there for brunch,
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Nice.
but yeah, they have those kind of like 2-room spaces for California Girl. There's that like back room that's sort of a little bit more private.
But you need a dance floor too, don't you?
Yeah,
Your table's
yeah,
a
I
dance
guess
floor.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, dance on the table.
You a brick house.
There's some space.
Oh.
There's a lot of space in there, especially if they like move some of the tables together. You can't just like eat at the California Grill that night. It's only this party.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so then they have a lot of offerings. So they have a collection of hand-picked wines. You also have the champagne toast, the entertainment, and then you have kind of unlimited food all night. So they have a chilled appetizer station with caviar, beef tartare, and a raw bar. They have a wood-burning appetizer station that's going to have a chicken drumstick, a squash blossom donut, Creole pizza, muffaletta pizza, rock shrimp po' boy, and corn fried oysters. So a little bit of your New Orleans cuisine there for the
Muffaletta
theme.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
where we're hanging
Muffaletta
out.
Pizza's
I'd be down with
great.
muffaletta
I would
pizza,
try the
yeah.
oyster
Yeah.
and some of the chicken. Yeah.
A sushi station.
You love
It
it?
just says maki sashimi, nigiri, and a collection of original sushi creations. A hot seafood station that's lobster ravioli, jumbo sea scallops, black and red fish, and a seafood boil.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
All you can eat.
All you can
Oh.
eat. From the grill and the rotisserie, a suckling pig porchetta, smoked duck, beef tenderloin, pan-seared lion's mane skate wing,
What?
and gumbo.
Okay, I'm hungry.
Lion's mane.
Roar.
That gets your testosterone up.
Like
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And gumbo. Ooh.
This is really reminding me of the brunch, the way that they had so many options. That California Grill brunch was like this too. The last thing they have is a dessert station. They have beignets and chicory, assorted house-made truffles and bonbons, chocolate-covered strawberries, and king cake.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
the king
skipping the king
cake.
cake.
No.
I'll wait on the
king cake. It's too early for
Yeah,
king cake.
all
Not-
the way
No.
up until then.
I'll eat all the beignets, but not the
Yeah.
king cake.
No.
I ain't trying to pay for a whole room of people because I got the baby.
Ain't
no.
the season yet.
No.
Ain't the season yet.
Yeah, the king, they haven't even reached the baby yet.
Yeah.
No!
Tis the season to say it ain't the season.
They
I
have
like
to travel near and far.
Yeah, Jesus didn't even say, hey, I'll make you a cake since you travel all this way.
Yeah,
right
you
there in the
No,
song.
he's got like 5 more days.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
Question. So is it all you can drink though?
So it does sound like it's all you can drink, but it doesn't sound like an open cocktail bar. You know what I'm saying? So like the wording is as such. It says, enjoy shimmering champagne, delightful wines, marvelous food, and one-of-a-kind entertainment. So it doesn't really
Oh.
say, you know what I mean? There's
So maybe
it's
it's
not
like unlimited
saying-
champagne and wine, but nothing
And,
else.
yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Well, it's
though.
New Year's. Yeah, you
That's
If
gotta,
you
not
like
bad
that
at all.
stuff.
you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
fancy it up.
Yeah, although I feel like, well, because it starts at 7, you can get in, and then it goes until 12:30. I just feel like wine is. I don't know if I could drink wine 7 to 12:30.
I'd have to do champagne.
That is a
Wine gives me a headache.
good point.
I'd have to eat.
I don't know.
I do
Anyway.
say I'm not a wine person.
With all
Yeah.
the sushi, we think maybe does sake count as wine? Because
I don't know.
It's rice wine, technically.
Good question.
I would love that.
That's enough to eat though that it can reduce your buzz.
Yeah. Well, on the subject of reducing your buzz, the cost for this is $799 per person.
My wallet just buzzed.
See what I tell you, Yacht Beach Club, $1,000 easy.
Is Vanessa Williams showing up?
She might.
I just for $800,
Jesus.
like put my cocktails in. I hope it's an open bar. I hope it is. They aren't saying that in the
It
ad,
should
but
be.
I hope it is.
Open
because
champagne
there's
and-
got to be
yeah.
something that makes this make sense. Because
$800.
it's way overpriced.
It's
I
the-
mean, you get the fireworks viewing from the observation deck of the New Year's Eve fireworks in Magic Kingdom, and you can watch them without being suction cupped to the people next to you. So that's nice. But other than that,
That makes sense. I can't argue with that logic. It's
Yeah.
just, man,
It's nice though.
wow.
No, that's a
$800
lie.
person.
I mean, I guarantee the musicians aren't getting paid that much for that night. Well, they might be. So it only takes 2 of you to pay the musicians, and that's it.
They get paid in
Pretty
food.
much,
They're like,
yeah.
get this
2 or 5
ravioli.
or yeah, whatever.
So yeah, pricey. But so I have a little bit of like history of it though. In 2023, going into 2024, so last year, the theme was Alice's Whimsical World of Wonderland.
My wife would have
I'm
loved
about to
that.
say that sounds like
I have the
Right up on his
description.
alley.
Yeah. You have the
Yeah, I have
description.
the description
Okay.
if
Okay.
you want it.
Okay.
Yeah. It said fans of Alice in Wonderland will adore this particularly special themed event for New Year's Eve. California Grill will be hosting Alice's whimsical world of Wonderland, transforming the restaurant into an immersive romp through Wonderland. Your night will start off by coming face to face with the doorknob when you reach the entryway. During dinner, expect to see characters like Alice, the Mad Hatter, Dinah, the Hat Lady, the March Hare, and the Queen of Hearts.
Who's Dinah the Hat Lady?
Dinah was the cat. I don't know what
Dinah's
the Hat
the cat.
Lady is.
I don't know if they mean Dinah, comma, the Hat Lady. I don't know who the Hat Lady is.
There's a missing piece of punctuation, you're saying?
The Mad Hattress?
Maybe.
There's a Mad Hattress?
His
I
wife.
don't know.
Maybe that's what drove him mad.
Actress, yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so that's
Okay.
that's last year.
I seem to kind of sort of remember that and
Yes.
pitching it to my wife, but
It was also $800 last year.
yeah, that probably
That
were-
probably would have discouraged.
Yeah.
Can she
yeah.
pull some money out of her hat? Help me pay for that. That's
I
expensive.
know, seriously. So then the year before that was 2022 into 2023. I cannot find anybody online that's talking about that year at all.
Okay.
I've looked at YouTube. I've looked at the parks blogs. I've looked at all the third-party sites, WDW Magic, all of those folks, food blog. I can't find anything. So if anybody went 2022 into 2023, send us an email because
Yes.
we want to hear about it.
100%.
Fair enough, yeah.
2021 into 2022, the theme was a lot different. And so I feel like it was just the last 2 years, 2024 and 2023, where they were doing like IP theming.
Mm.
Before that, it wasn't really linked to IP. So here's an example. 2021 into 2022, the theme was a golden New Year's Eve in wine country. And here's the way it reads. California Girls' dining rooms will transform into the California wine country with twinkling lights and lush greenery, an eclectic speakeasy and dancing area. And entertainment is set to include a photo op inspired by the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary, a sleight of hand magician, a roaming violinist, a DJ, and meet and greets with Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and Baby New Year Donald.
Oh, was Baby New Year Donald pushed off the side of the contemporary?
So I wanted to know what Baby New Year Donald would look like.
Donald in a diaper.
Donald and the
And so I'm going to share my
I love Donald.
Oh,
screen.
I got to see this.
All right. Do you see him?
Oh, definitely a
Oh, you have it.
diaper.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is.
But he is wearing a top,
He's wearing a top. Yeah.
And
He's
he's got
wearing a top.
a bib.
Yep. He's got a bib, a top, a party hat, and a bottle. He's wearing
Oh.
a diaper.
oh, they're
just to
still
give-
masking. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They're still masking because it's 2021.
Right.
So it was like still the pandemic. Just to give these people a shout out, I'm looking at a YouTube channel. It's Koosh. It's a Mayan word for let's go.
All right.
That's
Oh.
the title of their channel. And they went to this event in 2021 going into 2022.
Oh,
and so
nice.
they were I couldn't find just like an image of New Year's Donald. And so I looked at someone's YouTube channel to find it, but that's what he looked like. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Donald, throw him
Yeah.
off the Matterhorn.
I thought poor Donald though, like Mickey and Minnie got to be their normal selves, and Donald is like this silly baby.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he normally doesn't wear pants, so good for
That's
him.
true. That's true.
Yeah, that's kind of an
Well,
upgrade
That's
for Donald.
that's Donald dressed up for New Year's.
Yeah. So that was 2021 into 2022.
Was that also $800 for Donald? And
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
okay.
It was still that price point then
Wow.
as well.
Good for them.
Interesting.
So they don't deviate too much, even if they know there's not going to be a big.
It never
show, at
went
least at
up.
That time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2019 to 2020, it was $675 per person.
Oh, okay, a little less.
So it was a little under 700 in 2019. That theme was Elegant Evening Under the Stars, and it was very similar to 2021. So there's no like Disney IP, except they have, the classic characters there for meet and greets. They have a DJ, they have dancing, they talk about a magician. They had an artist there to paint your portrait, which sounded kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? They had an artist to paint your portrait?
Yeah, it says pour a glass of champagne, watch a magician, pose for a portrait painted by an artist, watch Magic Kingdom's fireworks from California Girls Observation Deck, and more.
Dude, that's worth $800.
But to
Seriously.
say, yeah, that's
I
kind
I
of
get
that's
my
kinda
own
cool.
original piece of artwork.
I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be there. Like, how could that guy possibly do everybody in one night?
I don't know.
Unless they had many artists, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the theme was Elegant Evening Under the Stars. And then I went back. The earliest thing I could find about a California Girl New Year's Eve party was in 2010. and I found this on the WDW Magic site. It was $525 per person in 2010. And this says food stations, an open bar, a casino-style game room, DJ, dancing, Disney characters, live entertainment, and great viewing location for Magic Kingdom fireworks. Cost is $525 per person, all inclusive. And so that was in 2010.
Nice.
Casino-style game room really threw me. I was like, wow, okay.
I'm kind of curious about that.
The Reedy Creek Improvement District allowed some things
I
back
guess
in the
so.
day.
Bring your kids, let them hit the slots.
Cha-ching,
Yeah.
cha-ching.
I'm like picturing James Bond sitting down with Dr. No. over
Shaking
there.
that stir.
I was thinking Robert De Niro, like walking around, being like, Terminator
Patch.
win on the second one. Yeah.
Wolverine patch.
Yeah, so
I like
it's
that.
been an expensive experience for a while, right? If it's $525 in 2010, it's
Yeah.
been expensive.
Yeah.
for a
Well,
while.
it's
Very
the
much.
California Grill, of course. Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
So I thought that was fun. That if I had unlimited money, I would do that. That's
Oh,
what I
for
would do.
sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
If it wasn't a factor, yeah.
I have spent New Year's Eve as an adult in Walt Disney World. We went in 2019. And we did Epcot that night. And what was cool about Epcot was that they did little celebrations in each country as it became midnight in that country for real.
Oh, that's cool. So you can party with them and you just
Yeah.
migrate over to the next midnight.
Yeah. So like the European countries all went earlier than actual midnight because it was already midnight in those countries.
Oof. So you had to be doing some jumping around.
That's some serious celebrating.
It's like you
Yeah,
get to
it was
Mexico and Canada, it's like, woo.
Yeah.
I got just a little more gas left in the tank, right?
All right, we got 4 time zones in Canada. We can make one of them and then go also
Go
over to
hop
Mexico and catch their time zone stuff.
Yeah, world traveling.
And then shoot all the way across to the center to America and catch it there. Oh, goodness.
You got a good plan, Kim. You got a
sober,
good plan.
you sober up real fast. Those friendship boats are running.
At the time, they were doing illuminations. So they did illuminations at midnight with a special New Year's Eve tag. It had like a special New Year's tag you could only see on that night. So that was cool.
Ooh.
That would have been
That would've
the
been really-
Millennium Celebration type, or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
William Celebration was awesome.
A version of the Illuminations, yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. They did like a big countdown on the, like they projected on Spaceship Earth a countdown.
Oh, no,
to
did they
midnight.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool. They have a silent disco in the middle of Future World. So you had those like headphones you could wear that glowed the different color based on the music you were listening to. And you could dance in there. And then just DJs in every World Showcase country. So just basically every World Showcase country was a big dance party. And we didn't do a lot of those because those were like people soup.
I'm about to say it was like packed, huh?
Yeah, you could easily lose everybody you were with in those crowds. It was nuts. So we didn't do those, but they did have like a lot of extra walkways open, like a lot of backstage areas open to just open up the walkways because it was so busy. Yeah, so that's what we did. And they had illuminations at the regular time too. So we did like a dinner at Rose and Crown. And at the time you didn't have to book like a prefix thing to do the fireworks viewing. You could just have a regular dinner at Rose and Crown and see the fireworks. So we booked that. Had drinks and soups and stuff at Rose and Crown, saw the first showing of Illuminations, and then enjoyed our night. And then we watched the midnight version of Illuminations. It was cool.
That's
I like
very
that.
That
That's
is
classic.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I like that.
Yeah, we had no kids with us, which was awesome. It was
That's even better.
That's
yeah.
even better.
adults
yeah.
only weekend. Yeah.
There you go.
That's how you do it right there.
Well, that's awesome, man. I love hearing all these stories of New Year's past and Disney and parks and all that kind of stuff. And so hopefully you guys, as you're waking up listening to our show, because that's when our show comes out, is on New Year's Day. Hopefully if you're nursing your hangover, you have something to listen to. You don't have to watch a screen, because I know sometimes watching a screen when you're hungover really hurts.
Yeah.
See 8 of us looking at it.
Yeah, it just really hurts. So you can just put on the headphones and just sit there on the couch and just recover and make sure you eat. But yeah, we hope you enjoy those stories. Maybe hopefully some of those things will come back. It sounds like California Grill thing will continue. If the Yacht and Beach Club comes back, I'm so there if I can do it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Pleasure Island, of course, is not coming back, but I don't think they're going to throw any short person off the Expedition Everest or something like that. I don't think they're going to do that.
Probably not.
Wait.
It was a different time.
It was a
I'm gonna
different
say
time.
I don't know what to say about that, but that might have been worth $800 just to kind of see all that action. That's crazy.
You hear all the action, apparently.
The Teamsters.
Yes, the Teamsters, yes.
Man.
So look, y'all, we hope you had an awesome New Year's. We hope your start to 2025 is killer. If you want to share your experiences at the Disney parks, whether it be in Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or maybe even the international parks, you can do so on this show. And we're about to tell you how to get in touch with us in just a little bit. Well, we hope you enjoyed our 2024-2025 MOWrockin Eve. If you want to learn more about us, the Magic Our Way podcast, follow us on any social media platform. The website's currently undergoing refurbishment, but it'll come back online soon, and I'll let you know when that happens. Look, if you want to get in touch with us, like I said, you can do so through the following ways. First, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or text us at 1-815-MOWrockin. That is 1-815-
MOWrockin.
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people do things outside of the podcast. Still, into this new year, they're still doing these things. First of all, we got Eli Does Things with Comics. Eli, what you got, sir?
Yes, sir. As always, please feel free to show me that support. Visit the website, ivorycomics.com, where you can see all the work that I got. Project Geisha, Savages, and About to Be Damned. All work is 48 pages, fully colored. The only ad for them is for this podcast. That's more for your buck than what the big two will give you. So always love what's being shown to me right there. Of course, on that website, you can see blogs and interviews, and of course, a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. So you never miss a beat. You never miss an episode. You never miss what happened during the time of New Year's Eve while Vanessa was singing a song while they was throwing babies off the Matterhorn. All right. So as always, would you pay for that? Would you pay for that? Well, so yes, thank you for the support there, ivorycomics.com. On social media, you can find me there, Eli H. Ivory. And as long as you're a real person, it's a pleasure to meet you. But if you are a bot, do not need to greet you. I do not need no more bots telling me how to rewire the New Year's Eve ball in Ghana to make sure I put a pig in diapers eating chutney. I am totally good. No, thank you, Mr. Bot. On
Man,
that.
even in 2025, the bots are following
Bots
you,
don't
huh?
stop. They get better. That
Shoot.
AI is no joke.
I
son.
thought they would have switched to like text messaging or something.
No, man,
That's
they
what I've
get
been
your,
getting.
you can't. WhatsApp, what's no? Like, I mean, everything. You can't avoid them.
Skynet's just around the corner.
It
Tell
is.
you, man,
It
they
is.
get me good every time. It's hard. That's why that's why I use this as a public service announcement every time. Please, bots, no. But if you're a real person, yes. Thank you. Also on Facebook, there's a Project Geisha fan page, so please feel free to visit that. Also on Instagram, posting up the hearts and the likes, see what you guys got. If you want to find me there, it's EIV504. And of course on X, I can be found at Hancock10166. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, you're just bringing me the gladness. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation to any of the theme parks or anywhere with major hotel brands in 2025, Rachel of Wishful Wanderings Travel can help you. Wishful Wanderings, of course, Disney earmarked and Universal Preferred travel agency can
That's
help you in
correct.
2025. Rachel, how do they get in touch with
That's
you?
how I describe myself nowadays as universal preferred.
Universal Preferred.
Universal Preferred.
2025 is
Yeah.
a
It's in
good year for that.
2025, maybe
2025.
2026.
Epic,
Oh, that.
Epic
Back to
Universe.
Disney
Yeah,
Preferred,
that's
but
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can find me on all kinds of social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm at Our Family Magic. That's the letter R in the words Family Magic all put together. You can also just email me. That's actually probably the most efficient way to get in touch with me. That email is Rachel, RACHEL @magicourway.com. No matter how you reach out to me, please let me know that you're a listener, because I love to know that our listeners are reaching out. That makes me extra glad, extra jolly in the new year.
And why wouldn't you want Rachel to be jolly?
Super
Damn
jolly.
I love extra.
I
Yes.
love it.
Make Rachel happy.
Yes.
Make me happy. That's right. You can also always just call or text me. My number is 978-432-WISH, WISH. And I would be so honored to help your group book a trip. Like Kevin said, I book Disney destinations all around the world, major hotel brands, Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, cruise lines, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Virgin Voyages, Disney Cruise Line. Yeah, so reach out, because I can probably help you no matter where you're going. And it costs you nothing extra to book with me. I can help as much or as little as you like. And it's just as if you booked directly with those suppliers just on your own. The only difference is a little bit of your trip cost comes back to support this podcast and this fan community at no additional cost to you. So why not?
Why not?
Right?
Why
So let me
not?
know. I would love to help you. Please reach out, and thank you so much.
And you can book Carnival too, right?
I actually have never booked Carnival before. I don't book Carnival.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
interesting.
mean, listen.
Because
if
you don't
a
want to go
listener's-
Carnival.
No.
Not Carnival, no.
Well,
Royal
we may have
Caribbean,
some listeners that are
Norwegian.
Carnival budgeted,
Yeah.
minded, you know.
If listeners really want to do Carnival, I can book Carnival. I just haven't done it. So I'd be happy to, figure that out for you.
Be her first.
Yes, you could be the first person to book Carnival. Our agency definitely books it. I just have never had a Carnival client before.
Oh.
But they're welcome to reach out. I'll figure it out.
We got faith in you.
They will. They will make Carnival as Norwegian as you can possibly make it, right?
That's
Yes.
royal.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's how you do it.
No, I don't know if that's going to happen. No offense, Carnival. We love
No, yeah.
you.
That's all I remember about Carnival.
What? Get it?
That's right. That's right. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Those people
Yeah.
could twerk.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they
It took you a
can.
while to get your eyesight back after that. From
So
what
if
I
you wanna
understand.
get down-
I was just trying to enjoy a pleasant vacation with my family. and
Burn in your retinas.
all in my face.
all up in there.
Yay, Carnival.
Club Carnival.
We appreciate that money too. Anyway, look, those are two definitely great ways to support us. If you want to elevate your support of the Magic Hour podcast, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. And another option, which only costs a minute or so of your time, is to leave a rating and a review in Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show, whether it is YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, etc. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, especially going into 2025. And we always love hearing from you guys. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Hour podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, once again, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right. Nachos are on plates.
And you are. Bye!